One of the challenges we often run into is placing space before or after a paragraph. So what we can do in this case, I actually have several paragraphs here which are one on top of the other. So there is no space in between them. But I can turn space on simply by choosing these particular paragraphs. Just let me choose a few of them. There we go. So we have a number of paragraphs here. What I can do is go to the Home tab and I can choose Paragraph, the drop down arrow, and you'll notice right now spacing is 0 before and 0 after. Now we could actually end up with something that had extra space, and you can see in the preview that there is extra space after the paragraph, and that's exactly what it says here. Don't add space between paragraphs is also a choice that you can put in. So all of a sudden it removes it because there should be no space between them. Just going to turn this back to 0 again, and I'm going to uncheck this box for a moment. So the line spacing can also be put in here. We have exact, multiple, at least, and double. So I'm going to choose at least. There we go, and nothing has actually changed. So I'm going to go in here now and I'm going to change it to, let's say, multiple. How's that? Fantastic. When you see multiple, you can see all that space that actually exists in here. So I can actually modify that by changing that as well back to single. Okay, and you'll see it's single here. And if there was space before and after a paragraph, so I'm going to add 6 to after and 6 to before. And we should now see a very significant change. Now you can see there is one extra little line in between, okay, between each one of the paragraphs. Now we can make that even larger still if we chose to. So I'm just going to reselect it again. And I'm going to modify this. Now there are other ways of doing this, but this is one of the simplest. And I'm simply going to change it to 0 again. So click OK, and you notice it takes it away. So when you really want to remove a space, what you're really doing is you're taking away the space before or after the paragraph. You want to make sure that you have selected that particular paragraph. Okay, so that we can add or remove space before or after it. And one quick way of seeing this before I terminate this video is by selecting it. We can notice there isn't much space underneath that has been highlighted, and there's not much space above the that has been highlighted. So this means that basically it is just general text, but I'm going to modify this by saying that before and after this particular one, I'd like to add at least 10. So I'm going to put 10, and I'll put 10 above that as well. So I'm just typing it in, and I'll see that my margins here are okay. So I'll click OK. And now you can see there's much more space above and much more space below, but it only affects what I've selected. So keep in mind for paragraph spacing, when you want to add or remove, use this particular product. Okay, we'll just switch it back to 0, and we're taking away all the space there, and I'm clicking OK, and that space is now gone.